Hello everyone, it is Susan here from Susan Hiles Art and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to work on something a little bit different. I mentioned, I think, maybe last week, I don't know. But anyway, first, before I do anything, I want to just say thank you to Helen for sending me this card along with some really fun goodies to play with. And I just love this kind of stuff. And some of them, she actually made herself, like little clusters, right? Look at this. All the yumminess. And this over here, she sewed. And so I thank you so much, Helen. I meant to say something last week in last week's video. And of course, yeah, right. I didn't remember. But anyway, so thank you. And today I'm going to work on a coaster for cups. And I am going to go back to working on the squares, which, we have done 2 so far. And I love them each very, very much. They're very different and I love them. And we will go back to that, but I wanted to work on a coaster because like I had mentioned last week, I'm getting a new recliner I'm going to put here in my craft room. And I wanted a fabric coaster. So I have 2 that, well, the other one's black, but I have 2 that were made by the Amish in Pennsylvania. And these are old. I mean, I've had them like for forever and I use them all the time, both of them. And I love them. And so I thought, well, I mean, this is definitely quilting and I'm not a quilter. And so I'm not trying to duplicate it. I just kind of looked at it like maybe for the size of it, thinking, well, it's a good place to start. so, so I am making my coaster a little bit smaller, and I'll show you the difference. Not too much, almost the same size. And if I were to end up putting lace around the edges, it would be about the same size. And I want to show you kind of where my head is at with the putting lace. So this was a bookmark I made for one of my I want to say hashtag videos last summer. So summer of 22, and I just took a piece of, probably some sort of packaging, and I glued Christmas fabric on it and onto the back. But I also put some beautiful, like silvery lace around it. I use this all the time. Ever since I've made it, I use it, well, every day because I read like pretty much every day. So I've been using it ever since, and it's starting to, fray just a little bit here and there, and I love it. I mean, to me, it just kind of shows how much I use it and how much I love it. So, so I was thinking of maybe putting some lace around, but I'm not sure yet. I don't know. I didn't really want lace on this, but if need be, I definitely would. So, and what I mean by that is if in the end it doesn't look done to me, I can go ahead and add something, although now would be the time to add it because I'm actually sewing the edges. So I guess I'm not going to put lace on it unless I put the lace. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to worry about that right now. But what I do want to show you, what I decided to use was I have a lot of 2.5 by 2.5 inch squares. And I think these are used for quilting, right? This size. And I loved this very cool colorway, very springy, summery, right? And so these were the different patterns that I picked out. This one I didn't even end up using, but I mean, like it looks so pretty, right? All together. So I went and I picked out, you know, the different designs that I wanted. And I have it all pinned. It's all pinned, and I actually even started sewing it. But so let me show you first. So it's kind of hard to tell. There's a pin right through the middle, but this is a little owl, obviously flip-flops, ice cream cone, and a cherry. And I put them in a way where I like the way that they look. So I'm happy with that. And then I dug through my closet behind me here in this room to look for a piece of fabric to put on the back. And I really had no idea what I wanted to do on the back. I knew I wanted it to be just one piece of fabric, you know, something easy. And I saw this and I grabbed it, and I love it. It doesn't necessarily go with the front, but I don't think it has to. I mean, this literally is the bottom of it. So, you know, I'm not too concerned. So what I did do, I think it's 4 inches by 4 inches. And in the middle, I do have a piece of batting. So there is batting in here. And so once I got it to where I wanted these 4 squares to be, you know, I pinned it. And then I started sewing. So the thread that I'm using is size 8 pearl thread. And I had this beautiful teal color that I had never used. Like I had to find the end of it today and everything, which is like probably my least favorite thing to do, is like to, as far as sewing, is when I have to find the end on one of these spools. And it's like, this one wasn't bad, but sometimes I just have to, I end up cutting the thread just to get an end because I can't find the end. And by then I like have it all pulled apart. Oh, it's such a mess. But anyways, today wasn't too bad. So I figured I would go with the teal because I do want it to show. So all I did so far was I did a straight stitch around the 2 edges of this piece of fabric on the inside, and then around the edges I started doing the blanket stitch. And I actually had to refresh my memory. So I went back to this, which you guys have seen. This is kind of like my practice piece of fabric. And I did the green here. So I did it really quickly. Like when there's lines on it like this, it kind of makes more sense to me. And the fact that I don't really have it at the edge of anything also makes a difference, because as soon as I start sewing to where I want to get this stitch on the edge, I don't know, it's not the best. But anyway, yeah. So as you can see, I did a few stitches, and the first one was totally not right. And I could very easily have pulled it out and redone it. And, you know, I'm like, what the heck? Kind of shows that, you know, I'm learning. It's not awful. That could like really bother some people, but I'm just going to roll with it. So I do have the blanket stitch to where the straighter edge is on the edge of the coaster, which was a challenge in itself. And see, even just going back to this, I definitely struggle. I definitely do. But as long as I guess if I hold it in the right direction, I'm okay. Like I first started it over here, and I quickly came to realize that felt backwards to me. So I knew I had to start up here instead of over here. I don't know, go figure. But anyway, so now I'm going to finish the blanket stitch around this, and I don't know, maybe I'll keep going on to the next block. I don't know, maybe not, because I kind of feel like I feel like if I did the edges first, I could end up with puckering in the middle. So maybe I won't do that. But so now I know that I'm going to come and I'm just going to try to stay at the same, width from the edge, so that this line right here is kind of like all the stitches end pretty much at the same level, if that is the right word, I don't know. So anyways, I'm just going to do one, and I'm doing rather small blanket stitches because, well, this is a small piece, right? But there you go. So there's another one. So I just have to remember I need to hold the thread this way. You start over here. I think I'll put one more here. And I don't want to get too close to the edge, because otherwise I'm not going to be grabbing all the fabric. Like right there, I didn't grab this blue piece underneath. So I'm going to do that again to make sure that I grab it. And I'm going to pull. And there we go. So there's the blanket stitch. Now I'm going to turn a corner. So what I could do, in fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a stitch down here like I'm ending this right there. I mean, not perfectly straight by any means, but then I'm just going to kind of keep going. And see, again, this is where I definitely struggle with getting this going. And what I'm doing is I'm looking underneath to make sure that I have the blue sewn. Okay, so if I put this thread this way, and I have to hold it a little bit at a slant, so I hope that doesn't drive you guys crazy. All right, I'm just gonna do it because I think this is right. Oh my goodness, I don't know. I'll make it right. I think I just have to accept, well, that wasn't bad. I think I have to accept that my first stitches just are not good stitches. They're just not, and that's okay. I'll survive, right? Whatever I'm working on will survive. Here we go. Look at that. Look at me go. Now I'm making this one a little bit wider, and I didn't mean to, but since like these are a little bit closer together than this here, but I'm gonna roll with it, and I'm just gonna continue to do them a little bit bigger. And I think one of the favorite parts of doing this is this part right here, where I pull the thread and I get to see that I really did do a blanket stitch. Because it still amazes me that I'm doing this. I don't know. So I'll probably put just one more here. And I don't know, then we'll look and see if I'm going to continue onto this piece or not. So let's see. Okay. So I kind of feel like I need to just end it here. So that's what I need to do. So let me just, and to end it, all you do is you're going to go down and make a stitch like that. And the only thing that, you have to consider when you're doing something two-sided like this. Now see, the back side is not beautiful by any means, but it's the back side. And I know I just switched gears there in the mid-sentence. I switched gears. So just for example, I'm trying to find some lace here. I can just show you real quick. So if I do end up putting lace, I would probably just end up sewing it from the back side so it would cover up some of that messiness, yet it would look super pretty from this side. So I could do that. I could definitely do that. And I could do it to where, like, I don't have to sew the lace on all the way through to this side. So what I'm saying is that this side here would look the same as it does right now, because if I sew this here, I mean, I can go through just the blue fabric and grab the batting, and then I would have this sewn down. Well, you know what? I'm kind of liking that now. What do you guys think? That would be pretty, right? And have that going all the way around. I think that would be pretty. So maybe I will do that. And I happen to like this lace. It's not white. It's a off-white, where this is very white. But you know what? I like it. I like it. I like it. So I'm just going to hold this out, and I will consider what to do with that. All right. So, but now I have to knot this off, right? So what I'm going to do, and I don't want to knot it here, because, well, if I was 100% sure I was putting the lace down, maybe I would. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back in just the blue fabric, and then I'm going to knot it. You can see I already have a different knot over here, but I'm going to knot it using the backing, or the batting. And so that's how I'm going to knot it, because I'm trying to keep all of my knots inside, where you can't see it on the top or the bottom, like inside in like the sandwich, so to speak. All right, so that piece is sewn on. You can see where I put I had a needle in here, and that's bothering me for sure. It'll go away over time, but all right, so let's do another. Let's see. I think what I'll do is, you know what? I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. That's what I'm going to do. Here you go. Yummy. So today is Sunday, Mother's Day. So to all of you mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. I hope you had a good day yesterday. Mine's pretty quiet. After I do this video, I am gonna go visit my mother. And besides that, I mean, I really don't have a lot planned for today. I do, I'm gonna start my stitch just underneath here, so I can tuck that in and you won't see it. I think when I get back from my parents, I mean, so far I've done, oh yeah, I did a video on my container garden this morning, and that posted yesterday if you want to go and check it out. It's coming along good. And I think I already did that video this morning and posted it. And I think what I will do when I get home is I will read. And yeah, so I think that will be my plan for today. I don't have any plans with my kids today. My daughter actually will be working today. So she works at Kohl's, and you guys know how retail is. So, yep, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? So, yeah, it's almost like almost any other day for me. But, yep, but this morning at like 7:45 this morning, my granddaughter she texted me, um, and she's like, Happy Mother's Day. So, you know, that makes me feel good. And, yep. So all is good. My garden's good. My family's good. My parents, praise God, are good. And yeah, and my job, I have, at this point in time, I have 12 and a half hours left to work. And so I will either totally finish that this week, or like right now, I know I have 9 hours of meetings scheduled for this week. If they add any more, I mean, it's going to take away from that 12 and a half hours. And, you know, that is what it is too. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, I'm talking too much. I don't want to put a straight stitch on the edge of the coaster, so I need to pull this out and start doing the blanket stitch. Let me see if I can go right into the blanket stitch from a straight stitch. I don't think I can. Maybe I can. Sure I can. Or not. No, see, I didn't want to do that. That is not what I wanted to do. Maybe I should just knot it off. I don't know. Let's see. Let me give it another try. Let's see. So what I want to do is I want to, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to knot it off. So I'm just going to go in and just knot this. And then I'm going to do the blanket stitch. Yep. Apparently it's like chewing gum and walking at the same time, right? Oh my gosh. Can you do it? I don't know. All right, so this is going to be easier if I just start the blanket stitch separately. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now this is where I have to think. I know I have to go in this direction so that I know. So if and again, I have to come up in the middle of the sandwich so that the knot isn't on the back. So I'm going to do that. And then I think I've got this now. So as long as I have this thread pulled to the side, let me get this all tucked in here, okay? As long as I have this thread pulled to the side, popped out anyway, then I can do the blanket stitch, I think. No, see, that's crooked. I'm going to try to keep it straight. Okay. I don't think that's straight, but it's good enough. All right, I think I got it. Except this is sticking out, and I don't want that to stick out. We'll just shove that in there. There we go. We got it now, everybody. We got it. And I'm just going to continue. So I think that's a huge part of doing a blanket stitch, is making sure whichever direction you're going, that the thread is already there, because then all you have to do is this stitch and it just kind of works. See? Do I sound surprised? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So I'm trying to think what I'm gonna make for dinner today. Yesterday I made some potatoes, sliced cooked potatoes with scrambled eggs. Oh my gosh, and I have leftovers, and I have to tell you, it's one of my favorite things to make, and it's easy, and I do it in my cast iron pan that you all know that I love, and it comes out so good, and even the leftovers are good. So, okay, I'm gonna go through like I'm ending that, because now I have to turn and go this way. So now I have to think again. So if I come up, making sure I'm in the blue on the back, then making sure the thread is to my left. And there we go. My gosh. Finally, I think I finally got it. All right, so we're gonna finish this one little square off. Now, you know, would I want everything to be neater? Well, you guys know me. It really is fine with me if it's not, and you all know that. But I do want it to look cute, right? I mean, I have all this cute fabric. Oh, I just put that needle right in that owl's eye. Oopsie daisy. Oh my gosh, I don't know. You gotta laugh, right? A professional sewist I am not. Would never in a million years claim to be. All right, one more. And then we'll take a look at it. All right, so that's the last. Look at that. Well, that actually even looks neat to me. Wow. Wow. And then you go back down, except I'm not going to go all the way through because I'm going to knot it on the other side of this piece of batting. That little thing right here wants to stick out. Well, I'll worry about that at some point. Okay. Oops, oopsie daisy. All right. And what else is going on? I don't know. Between gardening, my parents, my granddaughter, who, by the way, turns 14 at the end of this month and is graduating 8th grade. So next year she will be a freshman in high school. Oh my gosh. And she keeps asking me for my car. She wants my car. I'm not giving you my car. Oh my gosh, but look at that. That looks cool. So you can see the difference. And from this is where I started, and I went around this way, and it started messy and it got neater, and then over here it actually looks neat. The only thing is I did not do the corner very well, so maybe I'll try to do better on the corner when we work on these two pieces down here. And I feel like I could even just like put a stitch up here this way and like right here, and it would look better, but I'm gonna leave it. What do you guys think? Isn't that a cute little coaster? And the more I'm looking at it, and I'll look at my other laces as well, but I think that this is so like girly, and I love that. I think that that will look super pretty. Okay. Well, that's all I have for today. I'm gonna get ready to head up to see my mom and check out my video from yesterday on my container garden. and lots of stuff is growing already. So yep, I'm super happy with it, and I guess that is it for today. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope I was in frame the whole time. I hope. And I will see you next Monday. Have a blessed week, everybody. Bye bye.